Whiskey friends, far and wide, we are live. Happy Tasty Tuesday. Happy Christmas week for those in that holly jolly mood. American Humble Malt Muser, beaming the signal from the second city, the Windy City, my hometown, Chicago, Illinois, USA. What is good, everybody? It is great to see folks here in the chat. Getting things started on a Tasty Tuesday. I am also already gotten started with a dram of a classic that I haven't had in quite some time. Old Pulteney, 12 years old. Still a good whiskey. 43%er. Really good, quite nice. And the price is still right. Anyways, we got a great show tonight. We're going to have a little uncorking. We're going to have a little Battle of the Bunnas, which should be a lot of fun. But first, before we get into everything, let me say hello to the folks who are here in the chat, getting things rolling tonight on a Tuesday. What's good, everybody? First in the door, our friend up in Duluth, it's Mr. French. Good evening, everyone. Hot toddies with Rittenhouse Rye. Man, there you go. Gerbic's in here, too. What up, man? You still in Iowa or are you back in Florida? Juniper representing Tejas. It's good. How are things in Texas? Good to see you. IC86, the Burbs of Atlanta, Georgia. Apparently you get a drag on the vaporizer for that, man. I hope everything is good in Atlanta. How are you, sir? Good to have you in the house. London, England, the signal's shooting across the Atlantic. It's James Morgan. Minus 2 Celsius. I'm assuming that's freaking cold. You know us. We don't follow your logical temperature measuring rules here over in the States. James Chang. What's up, Whiskey Gang? Indeed. How are you? Good to see you. Our boy IC86 has got the Bunna 12 in the glass. That's a smart move. Man, Old Pulteney 12. Forgot about you. But Bunna 12 is still better. Good idea to pour that tonight. I happen to have a bottle of the regular one myself that we're going to be chatting about amongst a different one tonight as well. Quad Cities. On the other side of the state of Illinois, it's Chris S. What's up, man? How are things? 12 illicit still. Oh, man, I'll be interested to hear what you have to say about that. I just got myself a bottle relatively recently, and I'm very intrigued. ABV can make all the difference. I don't know if there's any different maturation. To be honest, I didn't look at it quite, but I think it's just a higher ABV than the regular Glenlivet 12. Must be a chilly overnight too. Oh yeah, he is in Iowa still. It looks like I just missed that. Yep. Good to see you, man. SoCal. Cohen holding it down. What's up, man? Good to see you, sir. What's happening in Los Angeles? Arthur's in the house. What's up? How are you, man? Good to have you in. IC86 pulled. Yeah, it is. Not sure if Telex is doing anything tonight. I only texted him over the weekend to taunt him about the Packers beating his Ravens. Beaming the signal from Oahu out in the Pacific on the Hawaiian Islands. It's our good friend Juan. What's up, man? You got my package? I hope so. Good to see you, sir. Indeed, Mount Muser. Oh, great minds think alike, sir. That's exactly what I'm going to do. Yeah, happy holidays to everybody, man. If your holiday has passed already, raise a glass to you. If you are awaiting Christmas or anything else, it's lunch. Hope everybody is staying safe, being well, dealing with this yet another annoying COVID variant, all that crap. But it's about the whiskey tonight. A cup of cheer, maybe 2, maybe 3, probably. Perhaps even more than that. Okay, let me set things up. So, some great, exciting news. I happened to get my hands on the brand new Bunnahabhain 12 years old cask strength. This is a relatively recent release. I think just maybe a month ago. I had to get this from overseas. Lucky I could find it. Looking forward to uncorking this bad boy tonight with y'all and sharing my thoughts. I also happen to have, as every good Scotch whiskey drinker should have, right? Good old bottle, trusty Bunnahabhain 12. Great priced whiskey, non-chill, natural color, 46.3%. Always got a bottle. So we're going to get into that in just a second. Before we continue, I just want to set things up a little bit for the rest of the year. So, little housekeeping. Last review of the year will drop Friday. Paul John Christmas edition 2019 and 2020. Sadly, I could not get my hands on the 2021 in time. I have not been able to find it around here, so we'll have to do that another time, but I did do the other ones. And so that will drop Friday. Patreons, that will be in your inbox at some point in time on Wednesday. Live stream will be on again next week. Little end of the year wrap up happy hour. So that'll be ready. And then after that, my Whiskeys of the Year video will drop for folks. One thing I will mention, so I've changed things up a little bit. This year, I'm going to, instead of just doing a top 5, I'm going to do a winner and runner-up by whiskey category. I just feel like, yeah, we'll see how it works. So I'm going to do a bourbon of the year, Scotch of the year, Irish of the year, rye of the year, world whiskey, Japanese of the year. So I will share those, about a week and a half from today. And I'll be looking forward to hearing what folks have to think. It was a good year, in no small part due to all the fun times hanging out with y'all. So appreciate all the support, all that good stuff as we begin to wind down 2021. All right. So with that, let me just do a quick catch up here on the chat. Good evening, Juniper. Got the package. Great. Hey, Mr. French, thank you for the super chat. Happy holidays to you too, sir. Appreciate that, man. Thank you. Rams looking bad. Yes. Higher ABV version of the regular, a rich or amped up version. The Glenlivet 12, which would definitely be your preference. Yeah, that is exciting. I see. Are you watching the game now? Give us the play-by-play. I think I already know how it ends. It ends well. Okay. Now, let's get into this. So, Bunnahabhain, one of my favorite distilleries. I believe, as you can see, I got a decent amount of Bunnas over here. And I was super stoked to hear that they're putting out a 12-year-old cask strength in what appears to be an annual release. So this looks like it's going to be the first one. Let me show you guys what's up with it. So first and foremost, actually, you know what? Before we do anything, before I start jabbering about this, let me open this and get it in the glass. And I just happen to have Bunnahabhain branded Glencairn here. Gee, that wasn't planned. It's going to taste better in the Bunna Glencairn. I'm really confident. Let me get this in the Glencairn glass, get this some oxygen, and then I will tell you all about this Bunnahabhain 12 cask strength. All right. Damn. Here we go. Composite cork, boo hiss. All right. Dram poured. Okay. So here's what we're going to do. We're going to do a little tasting of this, and then I will do a comparison with the regular Bunnahabhain 12, which will be a lot of fun. So here's the deal with this. It says here, Bunnahabhain 12, cask strength, 12 years old. Of course, 2021 edition, which makes me think this is one of many, which is freaking awesome. I hope that this becomes an annual thing. It is non-chill filtered. It is natural color. It is 55.1% ABV. As for the maturation on this, it does not tell you what it's matured in, but I believe much like the other one, we should expect a ex-bourbon, ex-sherry. 12-year-old cask strength Bunna is matured on remote, blah, 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 northeastern coastline of the Isle of Isla. So yes, Isla whiskey, very, very low peat, almost undetectable. Doesn't tell you much other than, yeah, okay. So it does say rich flavors showcase the classic sherry influence house style. So we do know that there's at least sherry in it. Comes in a tube. Okay, here is the bottle. Again, kind of classic Bunna, almost opaque black bottle. Here on the back, does it say anything else? 1881, etc., etc. No. So 12 years old, 55.1%, non-chill filtered, natural color. There it is. Just for comparison, let's get the classic regular cork Bunna 12 in the glass and do a little comparison of the color here. So, cask strength, regular. Very, very different colors. The regular almost has a much more reddish sherry looking hue, whereas this one looks a little bit more in the middle, more like maple syrup. All right. Let's dive in. What's up, man? How's it going? East Texas, my friend. Smoke Wagon, Christmas bourbon. Nice. Surfing both games. Right on, right on. Oh, there you go. Nope, it's not. Calgary, metro area of Alberta, Canada. Ben Demon Hunter's there. Okay. Good to see you, Ben. All right, here we go. Bunna 12 cask strength, 2021 edition, 55.1%. On the nose. Well, it smells rich and it smells concentrated. Sherry, bourbon, all that good stuff. Not prickly at all. I'm getting no alcohol pop on the nose on this, which is really nice. It doesn't have as much of that kind of musty, Bunnahabhains have a little bit of that kind of old basement, old warehouse, or I always say old bookstore kind of mustiness to them. Not as much here on the cask strength, but rich, rich, rich. It's like toffee, chocolate, apple. I mean, I can put my nose all the way in this at 55.1%, which is impressive. Those fruits are in there. They're just a little buried. Okay. So really on the nose, it just smells like a pretty concentrated malt. Not picking up any of that small amount of peat that you sometimes can detect in Bunnahabhains. But really, you have a really nice concentrated kind of dry fruit, juicy fruit in the background, and then your kind of classic bourbon notes on this. All right, here we go. Whew. I just love Bunnahabhain's nose. They really do. They're fantastic. All right, here we go. Solange, y'all. Happy Tasty Tuesday. Wow. Wow, that is chocolatey. Let me do another sip here really quick. Rich and bold flavored. apricot orange kind of fruit, citrus fruit, and then your dried red fruit kind of stuff. We're talking like dark red fruit, like plum, maybe even like a blueberry, blackberry. Then you get the oak spice, which this is where sometimes you can detect a little bit of peat in Bunnahabhains. They're very low on ppms in terms of this. I think I just saw somebody mention it. It's like 4 or 5, something maybe less than that. This is just, it's a little bit drying with the oak. Maybe you get a little bit of peat. It's hard to say. A little bit of salt goes into a pretty semi-dry, long finish, dark chocolate, coffee, plum, raisin, just dark, dank, delicious, heavy flavors going on in this. Yeah. Let's do one more sip of this neat. Then we'll compare it to the standard 12. The nose really, really invites you in. Chocolate, fruit, all that good stuff. That kind of mustiness that I was mentioning, which I do get, particularly on the regular Bunna 12, but I didn't notice as much on the nose here. It does come through a little bit in the palate. Just a little bit of this kind of funky note, but it's really, really overpowered by, again, chocolate, maybe even a little bit of like hazelnut, coffee, plum, raisin, slightly drying still, tobacco, maybe hint of tobacco or leather. Really, really nice. Okay. All right. For continuity, before I get into the regular 12, this 12 cask strength, $100, give or take. Maybe it'll be around 90 in the US. I'm not sure. But this is coming in at almost double the price of the regular Bunnahabhain, which you can still, the regular Bunnahabhain 12, which you can get still for like sometimes $45, $50, which I think is just an incredibly bargain in terms of 12-year-old whiskeys, especially of this quality. So this one, again, 46.3%, so about 8.7% less ABV. I believe maturation is going to be the same sherry forward. This is also non-chill filtered and also natural color. I have reviewed this before. I don't think it would surprise anybody to say that I really, really like this. Now, again, the color on this looks much more sherry red than on the other one. Here's some more time. Regular Bunna 12. Yeah, there it is. It's almost like flinty matchstick. More flinty than matchstick. That old bookstore kind of dark, dank warehouse basement thing. Stronger on the nose here, which honestly I quite like. Wow. For a whiskey that I would compare, what I would say normally is quite bold, after having the cask strength, the nose on this is somewhat muted. So a little bit more bourbon cask coming through here. Dried red fruits. Heavy apple note. All right. It's good. What can I say? Wow. Even after having a cask strength, this really still hits. You get that nice, rich chocolate note. The raisin, the toffee, medium finish. This drops off a little quicker, but this has more of a milk chocolate thing. The other one I found to be darker. Okay. More sip. First impressions here. I like the 12 cask strength. I mean, it's not full of many surprises. I mean, this is about what you'd expect if you jacked up the ABV on Bunna 12. I like the richer mouthfeel, a little bit more drying. And again, it's lost a bit of that flinty mustiness, which I actually quite like on Buna 12. That said, it's quite good. I never thought I'd say that there's something that makes Buna 12 taste light and more delicate on the palate, but here we go. So before we do water, thumbs up to the 12 cask strength. But the big question here is like, how much is this going to be worth? You're paying double than the Buna 12. And, you know, for my dollar, I don't know. The Buna 12 is just such a strong whiskey. Now, when I think about other whiskeys that have put out cask strengths, you have the Lafroig with the 10-year-old Lafroig and the 10 cask strength. To me, that is like a, you know, huge difference. The 10 cask strength is an absolutely superb whiskey. The regular 10 is okay, but honestly has probably been getting worse over the years and not something I would really want to buy. It is not a staple on my shelf anymore. I just, with other options, plus the 10 cask strength, which is usually around $80. I mean, that's a no-brainer. You go for the 10 cask strength, in my opinion. With this one, it's closer. 12 cask strength. Sure. Would I like the 12 cask strength over the 12? I think so. But I'm not sure if it justifies another $50. Let's see what water has to say. Let me know in the chat, by the way, folks who are either Bunnahabhain 12 fans or not fans for that matter. Also, let me know if you've had this 12 cask strength. What do you think? Okay. Here we go on the 12 cask strength with water. There's that flinty mustiness that I was missing. And there's just an overwhelming caramel in this. It's caramel and like not butterscotch, but darker, a little darker than butterscotch. I can't remember what you would call it. I guess it's kind of like toffee. Really huge on the nose, maybe even bordering on like peanut brittle, as weird as it sounds. There it is, though. Okay. I'm getting a little worried there for a second. Oh, man, it smells just divine. Still very concentrated. Here we go. Oh. Spice is kicked up. That oak spice is kicking up. But my God, this is just fudgy chocolate. Damn. Everything kind of plays second fiddle to the chocolate on this. It is just like sticky, melted hot fudge almost, with a bit of zest, maybe like a slight kind of saltiness, which you detect on the drying palate. A little bit of citrus, honey. Fuck. Yeah. Water is this thing's friend. It loosens it up a little bit. Yeah, I dig it. Okay. Back to the regular 12 here. I put 2 drops of water on each. Again, it's a tamer. It's a tamer version. Kind of just same, not a huge change on this. Here we go. God, that's good. Little edgier. But again, it's just a little bit lighter of a whiskey, which is a weird thing to say about Puna. A little more fruit forward, a little sweeter. Okay. So, man, both of these are just fantastic. There's no doubt about it. Bunnahabhain 12 is easily a 4 out of 5 whiskey for me, given the price point, the craft presentation, and the general consistent quality that I found in these. 4 out of 5 whiskey for sure. The cask strength, definitely going to want to spend some time with it, but it's a step up. There's no question about it. This is definitely a step up. Is it a step up worth another $50? If you have the resources, of course it is. If you don't want to spend the money, are you really losing out on something remarkable compared to the regular Bunna 12? Not really. I think this Bunna 12 cask strength probably right around that 4 range too. Maybe bump to a 4.25. We'll see where it goes. I will do a full review of this in the next month because I think I have a hard time putting it down. But there you have it. We can keep chatting about this for sure. I'm a fan. Like I said, I don't think that the step up is a Laphroaig 10 to Laphroaig 10 cask strength level step up. I don't think you're getting that dramatic of a difference here, but you are getting one. And man, the 12 cask strength tastes in some ways on the mouthfeel richer than the 18 if you've had the 18 before. I mean, this tastes like it's, if it had more complexity, you'd have me fooled that this was as young of a whiskey as it is. The mouthfeel, the viscosity, the oiliness, remarkably good, man. So yeah, there you go. I'm 4.25 sitting comfortably on this. This is worth buying. But again, I will caveat it by saying, like, I don't think there's a extreme difference between this and the regular 12, other than, again, mostly I think is noticeable on its richness and obviously its price tag. So there you go. Let's keep sipping some Bunna, and let me catch up on the chat. We got 21 folks in. What's up, everybody? Happy Tasty Tuesday. All right, where were we at? Oh, I'm going to come a little bit further back. Warmed up Peat Monster. Very nice. Going to be doing some cask strength Bunnas tonight from SMWS. Excellent. Ontario's in the house. What up, Peter White? Whiskey-based secondary guys are selling Bunna 12 cask strength 120 euros. No. Hey, Jersey's in the house. No, I'm sorry. It's Northern California. My bad. Got my sides of the country wrong. It's Donner Pass at work. He's got himself a bottle of it too. Yeah, man. Couldn't resist it, hey? Me neither. Yeah, that's a little bit crazy. I think, there's barely any. I mean, I think it's like one of those suggestive things. The fact that there's a little makes you look for it. It's tough to tell. Yeah, that sounds about right. Diving into the 12 cask strength off the top. Oh, yeah, I did. Hey, what's up? Rod's in the house. How you doing, man? Happy holidays, Merry Christmas, all that. How are you, buddy? Beer friends. Give him a sub. He's got a great beer channel. Yeah, man, you too. Great to see you. Thank you, IC86. I appreciate that. Yeah, I'm with you on that. That sounds fun. Zesty versus nutty. Cohen, did you try those new Adelphis? I have not. I may do one of them next week. Likely that Kolila. Juan says, definitely a Bunna fan, hoping and waiting for the cask strength to reach Hawaii. Yeah. This doesn't disappoint. No doubt. There's no disappoint. Peter says, doesn't matter the price difference. Most will want the 12 cask strength. I cannot see not buying one unless the secondary taters get them all in Canada. Yeah, I hope not. That's one of the things I should mention. I don't know the extent of the release on this. How many bottles or anything. They don't, say it's only like 1 of 5,000 or something like that. So hopefully, so they do say unpeated on this, which is curious. I mean, I know that there's like a little bit in the water that they use or something, but I don't know. And you don't really taste it. Yeah, I hope you get your hands on it too. I've been lucky lately. Redbreast, cast strength and Blanton's at my favorite store. Dude, Redbreast 12 cast strength is worth blowing a Christmas budget on, in my opinion. That shit's great. Kenneth's in the house. Just picked up Lafroy 10 cast strength and shared it with Daniel. It was great. It made me think of iced lemon pound cake with some nice smoke on it. Hell yeah. Hell yeah. That stuff is great, man. Buna 18, 4.5 or higher. 4.5, yeah. Buna 18 is one of my favorite 18-year-old whiskey. Gary's in the house. What's up, Northern California? How are you? Have you had? I shudder to ask, because I'm assuming you might have already. Have you got your hands on this Bunnahabhain 12 cast strength yet? Good stuff. Like to see how Buna does against Glenallachie 10. Yeah, I mean, this one is much richer, and I say that in like neutral terms. It doesn't have the complexity and the 9 different maturation or finishes like those Glenalachie's do. This is just a darker whiskey. It's a much richer, darker whiskey, but it's less complex. So take that for what it's worth, in my opinion. Alpha Crown's in the house. What's up? Online. Yeah, unfortunately, I have not come across this anywhere in Chicago, let alone the U.S. I got this at, what website was it? Whiskey World? Whiskyworld.com, I think. They're in the UK, so you do got to deal with shipping, but their shipping is better than some, better than Whiskey Exchange, that's for sure. Hey, take good care, Ben. Merry Christmas, Happy Holidays, Happy New Year, all that jazz. Good to see you, sir. Back at you, man. Back at you, man. I'm gonna join you Thursday if I can. The Chicago's been getting to me, man. I've been buying beers like crazy. I just got a porter from Spiteful Brewing. Like, it's called like the Dead Pigeon Porter or something. Like 8.2, man. Fantastic stuff. I'll probably have one of those. I'll join you. He does. Rod does a live stream on beer on Thursdays. So if you're going to be doing it, is that Christmas Eve? No. I'll try and join on there. Awesome. So did I. Yeah. Be curious to hear what you think about it. Kapil's in the house. What's up? Delhi, India. How are you? Good to see you, man. Great to have you in the house. Thanks for stopping in, saying hello. Always good to have you here. You'll be happy, Kapil. I'm doing some of those Christmas editions as my review on Friday, those Paul Johns, which I know you were a big fan of. All right. Oh, looks like we're about caught up, man. Great to see everyone. We got 22 folks in. This is great. So yeah, just a quick roundup. Don't sleep on the 12 cast strength. It's good. Does it blow the regular 12 out of the water? No. Is it a fun, intense, well-made, well-presented whiskey? Yeah. They didn't fuck up. Which, when does Bunnahabhain fuck up? Well, I think when they get into the peated stuff, there's some questions about a few. I did not, for example, like the original Moynia release. Moynia means smoke, Scots Gaelic, if I'm not mistaken. I didn't find that one to be particularly good, but I think that that's one of the few Bunnahabhains that I've had that I wasn't that impressed with. I even bought one of their travel exclusives a while back called the Crockvana, non-age statement, heavily peated smoky whiskey. That is a fantastically good whiskey for what you'd expect. It was sub $80 US, I think. Really, really good. I have not had the Chochek yet, so that's TBD on that one. But all the other stuff I've had from them has just been great. They're just a really They're a good distillery. I think they fly a little under the radar still, at least amongst, the greater whiskey drinking world, primarily because, they're an Islay distillery, but they don't really do, their core stuff, their core distillate, their house style, if you will, not a heavily peated whiskey. So, and honestly, I've had some of their fee seal stuff too, which I think is just freaking awesome. The one I did earlier this year, the Moynia, they do a Moynia, they do a peated and a non-peated fee seal, I think, every year. The one that they did earlier this year, or from 2020, the peated Amontillado, 10 years, was killer. All right. Sorry about the shaky cam. You too, man. Cheers, buddy. Uh-oh. Am I getting out of control? Chenabach. Yeah, that's one I have not been able to get my hands on. Sadly, I think they don't make it anymore, unfortunately. Peated Boona SMWS. Ooh, that sounds good. Sam's in the house. What's up, man? Back at you. Good to have you here. Oh, yeah. Shoof. 10% ABV. That'll take care of you, man. That's a man. Yeah. I actually got a Shoof gift pack a couple days ago that Binny's had out. It has, I think, 4 different versions. Obviously, their original it has like a cherry one, which I drank, which was okay. I don't really usually like fruit forward beers too much, but it was a good one. Cheers, man. Bust away. I hear good things of the young Irish 5-year. Connells. I'm not sure if I've ever seen that one. Oh, man. It's like the first nosing you do of this Bunnahabhain 12 cask ring, when you're not immediately like pulling back from like an alcohol, like a shot of alcohol on your nose, it lets you know this is a well-made whiskey. God damn, that's good. How's the Bunnahabhain 25 stand up to the others? I have not. I have a bottle of it. I've actually not opened it. I'm going to do that next year. Glengoyne 25, man, that is a incredibly good whiskey. It's I would take the Glengoyne 25 over the Laphroaig 25. I know those are little apples and oranges, but I haven't had that many 25-year-old whiskeys. I've had, let me think, Colila, Laphroaig, Glengoyne, Pulteney? No, it wasn't Pulteney. Ball Blair. Might be close to it. I would tell you, I've had the Ben Riach 25 too. I don't remember which one it was. I would say the Glengoyne is probably the king of that. Glengoyne is one of those distilleries that I honestly, some of it is really, really good. Other ones, I find they're just too thin. The 10 was disappointing to me. The 12 I like. The 15 I like. The 18 was disappointing. The 21 is okay. The 25 is awesome. I really do enjoy the 25 because it's 48%. I mean, it really like showcases what Glengoyne could be if they were just higher ABV or weren't so damn light. So that's about where I am on that. What else? Juniper. This is starting my whiskey journey. I'd like to buy a bottle for each of my 2 sons. Other ones are really like, do you think these bottles we have today will hold up over time? Hold up over time. Do you mean as like will their quality level remain the same from release to release, or do you mean like if they open them but don't drink it all for a long period of time, will the whiskey hold up? I just want to make sure I'm getting your question correctly. Definitely have some recommendations, especially if they're new to Scotch, on some stuff you might want to check out. But yeah, let me know if you mean hold up in the sense of like if it's opened, will it last a while? Peated Boon is one of my favorite styles. Yeah, I'm with you on that, Daniel. They are really damn good. Good deal. Ben Nevis from Elixir, 325. Ben Nevis 24, very nice. Alpha Crown. Speaking of 25-year-old Talisker 25. I have not had that one. Almost bought a bottle once. Wasn't able to. I think when I went back on to get it, it was gone, which was a real bummer. Okay. A lot of taters say the whiskey tasted better in the past, so they can't drop much. That's true. I mean, and in some cases, I think it's true, but there are others which I think are probably the opposite of that, right? When you look at things like Aaron, these are distilleries that are probably changing for the better. Gary agreed. Glengoyne 25 is an anomaly, but the cost now is up there. It is. It used to be like I got it when it was $329, and now I think it's well over $400 in a lot of places. I think it jumped at like literally. I remember going back on the same website to get a second bottle, and the price had jumped like $85, which is crazy. Just about my father-in-law Redbreast 12 cask strength. Oh yeah, yeah, 12 cask strength, man. That was my whiskey of the year, I think, 2018. This stuff is just almost unbeatable. But if it's an open bottle, I would buy them. If it's unopened, you're fine. I mean, we'd be talking like, if you're going to have it sit for 10, it'll be fine. I mean, as long as it's packaged and wrapped properly, you really don't have anything to worry about there. If you do, for some reason, notice leakage in any way, which again is very rare, I think you're more than fine to just wrap some. So I'll show you what it is. Parafilm, which is like a medical thing. It's like a sticky tape you can wrap around it. That'll make sure the thing never oxidizes, and it'll be fine forever. That's just something to keep an eye on. The other thing you're going to want to do periodically, if you're buying something that's expensive, maybe once a year, just flip the bottles upside down and let them sit upside down for maybe a minute or two. That'll just make sure that the cork stays moist enough. So when they open that bottle up, I don't know, whenever down the road, like they don't pull it out and it just breaks off and falls in. And then now you got cork in your whiskey. It's not a surefire thing because the corks do dissolve over time just from the, oxygen and stuff that's already in the bottle, which is minimal, but not a bad idea. Flip it upside down maybe once or twice a year. Again, and I would only do this with like things that are investments. Other, bottle of Highland Park 12, like you'll be fine. So it depends on how long you're going to stay, but that'd be my only recommendation. But otherwise, keep it in a cool, dry place. If it's a bottle that doesn't come in a box, keep it out of direct sunlight. You'll be fine, Juniper. Hope that's helpful. Great. What the hell is parafilm? I've never heard of that. Okay, so parafilm, whenever I send samples, this is what I use. It's basically like a medical tape. So I'll show you how it works. It's like laboratory tape. So what you'll see here, you peel it off, and it's just like this film, right? But watch what happens, right? So this is, here's a sample that has no tape on it. If I put this tape around the cork of this, look at how it just sticks. right? I mean, it's stuck on here. Like I didn't tape it. I didn't do anything. Like it is on there. So this is just a way to, again, perfectly seal things as much as possible. And also, when I mail samples, see, like, look at what you have to do to get this off. I mean, it is, you really got to yank it. The stuff is cheap. You can get it on Amazon, Parafilm. And again, it's just a good way to seal samples, like prevent leakage if you're sending samples to folks. You can put it around bottles to prevent oxidization, especially if you gas your whiskeys. If you use Wine Saver after a while. Parafilm is good for that. I mean, I have a freaking roll. This is 250 feet of it. I think this was like $10. I don't know. I have more than I'll ever need. That's for sure. But it's a good thing to have just to, take care of yourself. I primarily use it. If you've ever got any samples from me, you likely have had to deal with the parafilm. If you watch any of Food Quig's videos of the samples I sent him on Sample Sunday, he's always perplexed by this stuff. He's like, what the hell is this shit? Like, trying to rip it off. So, you don't need a ton of it around the bottle, but once you wrap it around, it sticks really well. I hope that's helpful. Okay, let me catch up here. So 17 folks in, which is awesome. Cool, Juniper. I'm glad that was helpful. If I want the classic latte, which other Brook latte would be the best to compare and contrast? I would say, look for a Brook latte Isla barley. Because what I think you'll get there is the difference between basically their sourced Scottish barley and then these more, they're very into like province. So they like to showcase, the barley grown on Isla. They're really into Terroir. I think classic latte, which is around, 7 to 8 years, get yourself a bottle of one of the annual Isla barley releases, not the Port Charlotte Isla barley, the regular Brook latte Isla barley. It'll look something like this. This is the 2011. This one came out last year. So these are all like 6 or 7 years old. They're same ABV, but it'll really showcase the difference. If you can tell the difference between like the flavors of the barley that they use, I would highly recommend that. That would be a fun comparison to do. Also, they also have one that's called Scottish barley, which would be fun to do as a 3-way comparison with the Isla barley too. I hope that's helpful. Wow. 179. That's basically free for that. Those things easily go 500 on secondary. Well, I shouldn't say that. They'll go 400 on secondary. All right, y'all. Just to recap, as we are 45 minutes in, good marks for the Bunnahabhain 12 cast strength. My quick capsule review. It's delicious. Is it light years better than the Bunna 12? Like how the Laphroaig 10 cast strength is to the Laphroaig 10? No. But also the composite cork, which is curious. Outside of that, maybe that's not a composite cork. I might have been wrong about that. Holy shit. That is the weirdest looking natural cork. Look at how white that is. It looks like it's the fake cork, but I guess it's real. I apologize. I'm going to do another dram of it. This is good stuff. I think for the whiskey heads in particular who want to spend the money, you will not be disappointed in that. Parafilm all your bottles when you get. Yeah, good call. Parafilm is good stuff. Hey, Stephen Connor's in the house. What's up, Tennessee? How are you, sir? Always great to have you, man. How are things? Hope you're doing well. Yeah, you bet, Juniper. I hope that's helpful. Stretch that parafilm out. Really. Yeah, definitely. We were just doing a little like demo of how it works. But yeah, I mean, you can really, it's good stuff. It's good to save your stuff, and keep your whiskeys intact for sure. Yeah, back at you, man. Great to have you in the house. Molasses is here. What's up, man? How are you? I had some samples arrive in the mail, and a Laphroaig 10 cast strength leaked out, but the parafoam kept it from getting all over everything, but still reeked. Shocked UPS didn't flag it. Yeah. Well, yeah. If the Lafroig gets out of the box, man, or gets out of the bottle, I should say, there ain't much you can do about that. That's funny. They probably thought it was like so toxic that they just kept it going. Just like move it along. Well, glad that didn't get poached from you, man. Hope you enjoyed it. All right. What else is going on? Are we doing Tasty Tuesday? You're damn right we are. We will have last Tasty Tuesday live stream of the year. We'll have that going. I haven't decided yet what the bottle's going to be. I know we had a chat last week. We were talking about Oban 18. I did just get these Adelphi single cask independent bottlings of Ben Nevis and Kalila, which and the Kalila is a sherry at that. I'm real tempted to crack that one, man. So I'm not sure. We're going to play it by ear. Either way, it'll be fun. We'll do something fun. And then, like I said, the last whiskey review of the year will drop for folks on Friday. It is Paul John Christmas Edition 2019-2020, both of which are still available, by the way. I highly recommend you get them, especially the 2020. And then I'll have the best of video the week after, and then we'll be heading into 2022. Yeah. So speaking of that, since we got a healthy amount of folks here, I'd love to hear in the chat, as we head into the new year. Daniel and I were chatting a little bit about this the other day. What else you might want to see from the Whiskey Channel going into the new year. I'm always trying to think of things to do that are, will make things more interesting to as many people as possible. I mean, right now we have the whiskey reviews every Friday, live streams every Tuesday, but is there anything you'd like to see more of or less of? Like more bourbon, less scotch, opposite, more world whiskeys, more reviews, less reviews, more lives, less lives. We'd love to hear some ideas. Feel free to drop them in the chat if you have any, because I'm definitely open to thinking about kind of ways we can make the show even more responsive to what folks want, which is great. I will say off the bat, though, I'm not getting Tasty Tuesdays are going to continue. We're not going to change that around at all. So yeah, we'd love to hear if anybody has any thoughts as I begin thinking about some of the things that I might want to try to do in 2022. Just got Parafilm off Amazon. Good call. You will not be disappointed. Cohen, I saw it. Saw it at Binny's yesterday for $100. Almost bought it. I haven't even finished my 2020 yet, so I was just like, fuck. I had to hold back, but I do want it. I mean, that 2020 was so damn good. I don't know. If you get it, let me know if I should spend the money on it. Go Rangers. Hockey? Oh, thanks, Dana. Yeah, that's the Patreon link if folks want it. People talking about Texas and California, all that stuff. Stephen Connor. Really more mold, though. Awesome. Good deal. Cool. Okay. So I'm going to think about maybe another sample here. I do have a couple more from Donner Pass. Maybe we'll do another sample. Keep going for a little while here. Sherry Italian. Oh, the Rangers Cup. I actually got this at, I went to the second to last game at the old Rangers Stadium. This was, 2 years ago? So they were handing out these cups. Somehow it's still intact. I'm not a Rangers fan. I probably shouldn't be broadcasting this on Whiskey Tube. Although, man, did they make some splashes this year, right? They're trying to be a competitive baseball team for once. All right. Okay. Let's see here. What should be the next whiskey? Compass Box Extravaganza. That sounds tasty. I think I'm going to need something peated in the cask strength range. Maybe our Old Faithful Cartridge PX. Actually, I think I know what I'm going to do. I've been meaning to drink a little bit more of this. Do this one. It is only 46%, but it is heavily peated. This is the Compass Box Peat Monster Arcana. This is one that I actually was going to try and review this year, and I didn't. So I'm going to try to do it. As you can see, I've been drinking a bit of this. So a couple things about Peat Monster. First of all, it's not a monster. It's not a Lafroig. It's not an Ardbeg. It's not an Octomore. It's not a Port Charlotte. But it's it's a solid whiskey. Now, this Arcana version, aside from, again, kick-ass artwork, this one, they do an extra aging. So I think it does another 2 years in French oak. I'm a huge fan of the French oak. And it's been a minute since I've had this. Since it's a blended malt, distilleries, predominantly Talisker, but it has some Milton Duff and Ardbeg in it. Let me know in the chat. Anybody have this? It's been an interesting year for Compass Box. I feel like they were sort of falling off a little bit. People were kind of losing interest in them among the whiskey heads. But a couple really strong releases the last year and a half or so. This one, I know people are really high on the Compass Box and No Name 3, which I've heard is a nice peaty, heavy whiskey, which I will try to get my hands on at some point. Ask Texas, Lorraine Bryan. I am not sure what that means, but hello. I'm afraid of you podcasting. 500, here we come, right? Long row, he said. Maybe we'll do a long row after this. Why not? Had some Arcana last night. The French oak kills it with the release. Yeah, I'm a big fan of the French oak. Juniper says, do you like cognac? I'm not much of a cognac drinker. I like Armagnac. I have a few cognac finished. So one of the reviews I'll be doing next year, and this is something you should keep your eyes out for, Juniper. This has hit the shelves about 2 months ago. This is the Glenmorangie 13-year-old cognac cask finish. It's 46% ABV and non-chill filtered, both really good things. I believe it's a couple years in cognac. Tasty stuff for a Scotch. Very easy drinking, but it brings some extra kind of flavor and creaminess to the whiskey. I recommend this one. I'll be doing a review of this very early in January, so keep an eye out for that. This is part of their Barrel Select series. They did one last year, which was a Malaga cask, which I think was honestly just probably one of the best Glenmorangie releases I've ever had. Outside the Signet, of course, because who can mess with the Signet? But this one, really good stuff. As you can see, I've been enjoying it. So it's something to keep your eye out for. But generally, like I like Armagnac a little bit more than I like cognac. But I'll be honest, I'm pretty ignorant about cognac, so I can't really speak to it. Okay, so he had some Arcana last night. I tried that Peat Monster. I thought the French oak note is a bit extra. Okay. You didn't get like extra in a bad way, like it did a little too much. Good to know, Alpha Crown. Yes, very, very good. I'm on a second bottle of that already. That stuff is just killer, man. 70% 14-year-old Talisker. 14-year-old. Yeah, that's funny. I am not a Talisker fan. I really, I do not. I should put it this way. I don't care for Talisker's younger stuff. I don't really like the 10. I know, I'm ducking. I don't really like the 10. I never have. I don't like the Storm. I don't even really care for the Dark Storm. The Distiller's Edition, I quite liked. For me, Talisker, I conceptually like their profile. I just don't like the way it tastes because of the level of pepper. It's like too peppery for me. It's too sharp. I do like the 18 I liked. But again, it's because I think it's a little more cask driven. Finishing up this Puna. Ban Lorraine, it's a bot. Oh, fuck. Okay. Thank you for flagging that. I will be sure to do that at some point. He is the wrench. He's a giant Talisker Storm fan. Springbank 25 just too much for me for a whole bottle. I can only afford a gem at the bar. Yeah. Oh, what did you learn? So you got the Arcana going now. Okay. Yeah, we're going to do this. I may do a longer after this. That was a good call, Gary. I have some of the reds. I also have an 18. Let me... short on glasses here. Let me try this Arcana. It's been a while since I've had this. So I see that we've had kind of a range of responses to the Arcana. Man, it smells good. Maybe this is my way to enjoy Talisker, is just Talisker when it's mixed with other things. In fact, I had the Talisker 8, one of those cast strength, Diageo releases I didn't even really like. All right, here we go on the Arcana. Salty. The French oak, though, which to me brings, it's like wood notes without spice. It's a very creamy kind of, well, I'm going to take that back. Normally it is. On this, I'm actually getting a lot of spice, but it's not from that. It's not wood spice. This is definitely just peat. I mean, I'll be real. The reason I bought this is because it said it had some Ardbeg in it. I was like, oh, I can handle some Ardbeg. This is smoky. It's salty. It definitely has those maritime qualities. And a little bit more backbone than the regular. And I've had the regular, I think, once or twice. This is a bit more kind of density to it. Here we go. And there's where the French oak shines. Creamy, vanilla, rich and soft. And it really does add another dimension to this. Wow. You still get that peat smoke. You still get you get the peat and the smoke. There's some nice juicy fruit, like juicy fruit gum sweetness going on. But then you really get a heavy, like vanilla bean, like confectionery sweetness from that French oak finish on this. 2 years too. That's no joke. This is a non-age statement whiskey, but did 2 years in French oak. I don't think Peat Monster. So here's what and I will give them credit for this. So here's what's in this. So refill hogshead Talisker, it is 71.4% that. Milton Duff first fill bourbon barrel 10%. Peat Monster blended malt whiskey, which is refill custom French oak barrel heavily toast 9.4%. Ardbeg recharred barrel 6.7%, and Highland malt blend French oak barrel, heavy toast, 2.1%. Natural color, yes. No chill filtration. Gotta love you gotta love Compass Box's penchant for details. Look at all that. I mean, I respect that. There are a few distilleries that offer up that level of information. And a lot more should, for that matter. I believe we were having a conversation about this last week. Kilchoman is another really good one with that. They do give you a lot of info. User Iron Root is releasing finished whiskey under the Saints Alley line. They have an Armagnac finish on that's on the list to pick up in the near future. Really? I might be game for that. That sounds pretty good. I'm going to someplace shoulder to shoulder. Always pick off peak hour. Doesn't look like Tater Tillix. Tater Tillix? Yeah, I'm not sure if he's doing a show tonight. You know, as I think we've mentioned, so Tellix and I have kind of sunset the weekly Tellix and Malt Show stuff. We'll be doing some stuff periodically. But he was talking about trying to do a couple different things, doing some kind of other bottle profiles and stuff that he wanted to do. And honestly, the 3 hours was starting to get taxing. As you guys probably noticed, our schedules started getting to the point where we were missing a lot of shows together and stuff like that. So we're going to be doing a little more a la carte now, but I'm going to maintain this time slot for the happy hour. And much like tonight, I will probably go over the 1 hour mark. So it's happy hours. Maybe I should just change that and make it Tasty Tuesday happy hours. What else is going on? Oh, Paulney, salt air in the night. Yeah, man. Except Compass Box tries to hide that they're in cahoots with Bacardi. Ruh-roh. Is that so? Imported by Compass Box USA. I did not know that they were in cahoots with Bacardi. I would love to know more about that, though. Do share. Non-chill natural, though. Craft presentation. The only thing about this is it's $100. Hey, you too, Juniper. Thank you for hanging out tonight. Stay safe, be well, and have a very Merry Christmas yourself. Have any of you put whiskey on your Christmas list for anybody? And if so, what are you expecting to get? I usually end up with a bottle of something. I did buy a bottle for somebody. My stepfather, he's 73. We went and did the Bourbon Trail for his 70th birthday. He's not a huge whiskey nerd, but he definitely enjoys bourbon. He's got a lot of bourbons. And every time I've ever poured him a scotch, he's like, it's just, what it's like. If you're not somebody that drinks neat whiskey on the regular, you know how it goes. So what I did was I picked him up a very particular bottle of Scotch whiskey, which is almost designed for the bourbon head. Anybody want to guess what it is? Iron Root. Okay. Oh, man. Daniel, thank you for the super chat, sir. And again, I want to shout out Mr. French for the super chat earlier. Thank you guys, man. I appreciate that. Sláinte. Love you guys. Thank you. Well said. Well said. You are correct. Compass Box is transparent. Compass Box transparent is a marketing gimmick, but they get defensive when you expose that they are in bed with Bacardi. What are they doing with Bacardi in particular? Kenneth, winner, chicken dinner. That's exactly the whiskey I bought him. Exactly the whiskey I bought him. Glenfiddich 14 bourbon. Yeah. I think he's going to like it. If he doesn't, there's no hope for him in terms of scotch. I'm interested in this Bacardi thing. Do you know more about like what exactly they're doing or not doing? Are they sourcing? I'd be curious. Are they sourcing things like, or how they're working with Bacardi for that matter? Again, Daniel Slanchman. This Arcana, man, I like it, but I don't love it. It's like it's a little thin. It's a little thin, and the French oak cask, I feel like it brings a nice creaminess to it, which is definitely unique. I don't think I've had it, and I think it kind of makes it seem like it's a little older than it is, but the finish, it's that short finish that kind of gives it away. I like it more than I like the regular Peat Monster, but I'm not sure for the additional $40. I don't know. It's a competent whiskey for sure. Above average. That's the one. Which I've actually honestly never had. You got I've not had it either, man. I've heard actually good things about it though. I've actually heard that it's a solid bourbon cask single malt. I just did that video of Glenfiddich 12 versus Glenlivet 12. And I gave the Glenfiddich 12 a 3, and I gave the Glenlivet 12 a 2.75. If I could redo that, I would go 2.5 on the Glenlivet and 3.5 on the, or 3.25 on the Glenfiddich. The Glenfiddich 12 has opened up really nicely, and I'm actually kind of impressed with it. As weird as it sounds. I was glad I did it because now I know if I'm ever in an airport bar somewhere, like I'll just get the Glenfiddich 12. I think it is a actually measurably superior whiskey. Sometimes original can kind of annoy Encompass boxes out front. Yeah, okay. I hear you. I hear what you're saying on that. Imagine if they released Arcana at Cask. Yeah. There we go. Now you're speaking my language. Disappears in the house. What's up? Happy Tasty Tuesday. Lunch. Hello. Open my Bunnahabhain 12 today. Not the cast drink though. That's all right. Check out the beginning of the replay of this video. You can kind of see I did a comparison between the two. But spoiler alert. While the cast strength is a little bit of a step above, man, the Bunnahabhain 12 is still just absolutely killer. So you get yourself a damn good whiskey. When a non-whiskey drinker buys a whiskey, a bottle, it's going to be something sugary. Yeah, it's true. Yeah, he's a big fan of like Buffalo Trace, Dickel. Like he likes those kind of just, a lot of ice. So I'm thinking that what I'm thinking about the Glenfiddich 14 bourbon cask is that it's 43%. So hopefully it'll show, when he dumps 55 ice cubes in it, hopefully it'll stand up for a little while. I think that like he just finds it all too quote unquote harsh. Compass Box won't be transparent on how much ownership Bacardi has in the company. So much for transparent. John Glazer and Mark Glitter should get together and bamboozle some people with BS. Oh, I see. So that's they have ownership. They have some ownership in Compass Box. Interesting. You got a discerning palate there. Wow. Okay. I have not had a Flaming Heart. I'd like to. In fact, I might actually have one. I should do that one of these days. I've heard varying things, like in terms of quality, but some of them are really good. Others are not so good. That's good to know, man. Thank you. Hello, Disappear. Bunnahabhain 12 is a fantastic whiskey. Yeah, big highlight on what Molasses just said there. Our boy was in November 14, batch 13 for 50. 50 each? 50? How's that even MSRP? Fuck, wow, that's a good deal. I have an amazing 23 Glenfiddich. And when I used to fly, I always get a Glenfiddich at the airport. Now, let me, and smart whiskey people, am I correct that Glenfiddich is one of the few distilleries that still direct fires their pot stills, and instead of uses like the coil heating or whatever? I believe Glenfarclas does the same thing, although we're not going to get into discussion about Glenfarclas right now. I believe, and I ask because there is a palpable, is depth the word I want to use? There's a palpable, I guess depth. I'm not sure what word to use that makes the Glenfiddich 12, I think, a little bit more of an interesting malt compared to the Glenlivet 12. It has like a little bit more backbone. It has a little bit more substance to it. And I do wonder if it is in part caused by the fact they use direct fire on their stills. So you're kind of, like you would if you're lighting anything up, you're getting a little bit more intensity in some areas than others. And there you go. I wonder if that's part of it. It tastes a little bit less refined comparatively, which is saying a lot given the fact that it's fucking heavily refined. Just like all of those. I'm so immature at this. I taste that undeniable Scotch flavor, of course. But I also taste, sorry about this, but petroleum note coming on about the third notes. Okay, yeah. So what you're picking up there, and I want to, I know exactly what you're talking about, because to me, it's flinty. It's like, even almost a little bit matchstick-like. I wonder if those words associate with what you're getting there. Try a little bit of water on it. Now, Bunnahabhain 12 is not if you're, being somebody who's new to it, and again, welcome. It's a fun journey. Bunnahabhain 12 might be a little bit, for lack of a better word, characterful. In that it has kind of a unique flavor. There are some other ones I would recommend you spend some time with first, maybe before you go to Bunna, but nonetheless, I think the note you're picking up there and why it's so like shocking to the system, it does have a little bit of this kind of musty, flinty note to it. And I would just say put a couple drops of water in there. It is 46.3%. See if you can tone it down. But as somebody who's just getting into it, which maybe I'm reading this correctly, that you are, like, a good way to, you kind of gravitate towards sweetness, especially if you're American. Americans tend to have sweeter palates. There are some other ones I would recommend you if you're interested, but Bunna's a little bit characterful. But if you find that you like it, you're in for a treat. You just have to kind of, I fashioned that musty smell you get on the Bunna 12 is like walking into an old bookstore. I don't know why. It's just kind of how I associate that very singular note that I get off Bunnahabhain. But try a couple drops of water. And again, I would also recommend, like, use as much water as you need on every whiskey. Just do it in a measured way. Get it to where you like, and then gradually less and less water. And you'll get your palate accustomed to it. That's really, I think, the best way to do it. Don't feel like you're pressured into having to drink it neat. If you need to use ice, fucking use ice. But have as like a North Star the goal of moving from ice to water, and then less and less water until you get to this point where you can appreciate it neat. Then neat, and then a couple drops of water, and you can kind of play around with it, find your sweet spot, find where it works for you, and then you're in good shape. So I hope that's helpful. Oh yeah, damn good stuff. Ah, good. Okay, well, there you go. Yeah. I'm glad to hear it. You find it richer. With water? I'm not sure what this is in reference to. I apologize. Glenfiddich actually have both methods of heating the stills since they keep expanding, but they said that they mixed all new make. Okay. I believe the only ones that use live flame still are Glenfarclas, Glenfiddich, and Springbank. Yeah, Springbank. That I believe. Yeah. And I mean drops. I mean like start with 4 drops, or maybe put it into 2 separate glasses, do 4 drops on one, try it, do 2 drops on the other, try it, see what you notice. These little drops can make a big difference. It breaks up the alcohol molecules, more of the flavor comes out, and you can kind of find that equilibrium. So yeah, play around with it. When you have a whiskey that's 46.3%, it gives you a lot of space to play around. Michael's in the house. What up, man? Good to see you. Musty and flinty is better than sweet. I like the earthy notes. Okay, and you got a good one. Dusty leather note. Yeah. Definitely. It Musty sent link to the storehouses because I get that in Glenallachie a lot. I'm not sure. I mean, I don't know if that Bunnahabhain uses dunnage warehouses, actually. It's just, if they do, it would make sense. If not, it's just part of the character of their whiskey, which I guess makes sense. 4 teaspoons of water. I could fucking drown that shit. Well, Arcana is what it is. Good. Not great. Not sure it's worth the price. But I like it. It's a relaxed peated whiskey. It reminds me, and I'm sorry to say this out loud, but hear me out. It reminds me of Laphroaig 18 in certain ways. It's a relaxed, refined, kind of creamier whiskey journey for something that's heavily peated. I'm drinking 13 Signatory Cask Strength Bunna. Oh, is that the one that's like 68% or whatever? There's that one bottle of theirs that's really, really high on the ABV scale. I remember that. Cheers. You're a prodigy in the making. Yes, absolutely. Good notes. Definitely. Yeah, enjoy it, man. Enjoy the journey. Really enjoy it. Like I think back fondly, honestly, on the those first couple of years of tasting Scotch whiskey, when it's like around every corner is something that's just like everything's adventurous, everything is new, and you have those malt moments that just blow your mind. I mean, you're gonna, and this will happen to you, Disappear, where you're gonna run into like 2 or 3 stuff as you keep trying things. You're gonna be like, holy shit, this was a euphoric moment. You're gonna have that whiskey that does that for you. I actually find it kind of happens less and less the more you go up in the journey, or it happens in different ways, I should say. But man, I'll always cherish those moments. I remember many of them specifically, in particular, Ardbeg Ugadal. You just have those moments. It's the right place. It's the right time. You're in the right atmosphere, and it just hits you on a euphoric level. And that's what it's all about. So enjoy it. Don't feel like you need to rush. Don't feel like you got to get to some place, because there is no end point. There's no place. There's just a journey. So enjoy it. The 2 for $99 was in reference to Laphroaig. That's crazy. Yeah. Buy 30 of them. Hey, definitely, man. Absolutely. And you're, no matter where you are in your quote unquote whiskey journey, man, there's a lot of good people in this chat. We're all in some different place, and it's a lot of fun. And, feel free to come back. If you ever have questions, don't feel like you can't ask, man. Nobody's judging you. Enjoy it. Just fucking enjoy it, man. That's what it's all about. Keep us posted on how it goes, man. Definitely. Indy's in the house. What up, Vancouver? Yeah, man. Like an hour and a half ago. Where were you? Bunna 12 Cask Strength. Thumbs up. Oh, nice. All right. I'm going to get myself something else to pour here. What that's going to be, I'm not quite sure. You know what? I'm going to join we got a couple folks in the chat doing regular Buna 12 right now. So I'm going to do that. I'm going to do another dram of the Buna 12. 46.3%. As Disappear was saying, that petroleum smell. It's totally there. It's totally there. I get what you mean. Man, that's good. You too, Kenneth, man. Merry Christmas, Happy New Year, Happy Holidays, all that. Well, I'm glad you can be here now, Indy. But he might as well experience until the daft mill isn't just for collecting, it's actually for buying a drink. I don't know if I've had any daft mill. I definitely don't know if I've had any daft mill. I'm telling you, Buna 12 might be my favorite 12-year-old Scotch. And I get that, like, doing comparisons across different styles is what it is. But I'll be real, man. Putting Springbank 12 cask strength aside because it's like 100, it's like double the price. I'm not sure. Glenallachie 12 is really good. What other 12-year-old single malts? Again, within the like regular 12-year-old price range. We're not talking about cask strength versions. Would you put above Buna 12? I mean, not fucking Kalila. Lagavulin only has the cask strength. We're not going to include that. Like what? What would even be Highland Park? But again, that's 3 less. It's gotten worse. But I love it as a session. Maybe I would put Highland Park above it just because I like it as a session single malt. But like, what other like 12-year-olds? I mean, fucking not Dalmore, right? I just thrown out there. Not Dalmore, right? Somebody want to throw Dalmore out there? Glendronach, Glendronach, or Macallan 12 Sherry Oak? No. I mean, they're good, but I'm not sure I'd put it there. 12-year-old whiskeys that are within the normal 12-year-old whiskey price range. So we are not talking about Lagavulin cask strength 12. We are not talking about Springbank cask 12. What I'm asking folks, and share it in the chat, 12-year-old whiskey in the US, what, $45 to $60 price range that you would put above Bunnahabhain 12. I'll be curious to hear what folks have to say. I'm thinking right now, maybe Glenallachie 12, hit or miss. I know they change, it's got the finishes changed by the day with them. Paltney 12? No. Definitely not Glenfarclas 12. Definitely not Glenfarclas 12. Kalila 12? Hell no. Kalila 12 I actually think is pretty weak. Like what else? Scotia doesn't have a 12. Their 15 is right there. Price range, but not a 12, right? I mean, they're 12, they don't have a regular 12. Not Fiddick, not Livet, not Dalmore. Oban doesn't have one. Glengoyne 12 is good, but I don't think it's better than the Buna. What about Ben Riach? And either the Smoky 12 or the regular 12? I think I've had just the Smoky. It was good, but I wouldn't say it's better. Highland Park, 12 maybe, just because it's such a great all-arounder and easy sipper. Aaron doesn't have a 12 anymore. It's just a 10. What about some of those Glenmorangies? La Santa, Quinto Rubin, Nectador. Although Nectador's not an age statement now. Glendronach, I don't know. It might be. Yeah, there's not any. I mean, the Kalila 12 is such a disappointing whiskey, in my opinion. All right, it looks like we got a bunch of folks who've commented on this. Let me catch up. So when did I say this? Okay, here we go. All right. Okay, so here we have a Highland Park 12 from IC86. Cohen, Kilkerran 12. Yeah, Kilkerran 12. Kilkerran 12 from Molasses, our Big 10. Michael Besley. Luis, what's up? How are you, man? Kilkerran 12. Welsh Toros in the house. What's up, man? Long time to see, man. How are you? Hope you're doing well. Whiskey Lovers Society. What's up, Belgium? See you. Capil says Glendronach or Kilkerran. Okay. Alecky 12. Alpha Crown. Dalmore's the greatest ever, says Daniel. Yeah, right. Ban yourself, man. You're the wrench. Never Dalmore. Indy says Kilkerran 12. Edradour 12 Caledonia. You're right. It is a little bit higher in the price. Yeah, I get it. But, man, yeah, that's a good pick, man. That's a really good pick. I've commented about this one. Twice the price of the regular 12, but not twice as good. Oh. I'm not sure. I'm not actually sure what you're referencing there, bro. Let me know. Stephen Connor comes in. Kilkerran 12. Yeah. Kilkerran 12 says Daniel. Yeah. Seasonal greetings indeed, man. Great to have everybody in the house. Highland Park would slightly be above for Chris. Okay. Caledonia. Oh, Balvenie single barrel. Yeah, man. That's a good pick. Not the double wood, but the single barrel. I like that. I'm actually surprised I didn't see a double wood. I see 6 for me personally. Highland Park is my choice over Buna 12. No disrespect. Yeah. Red Bristol cast strength for sure. Old label Highland Park can run on Buna 12. Okay. Kilkerran 12 Welsh Toro. Ben Romick due to its presentation. Brockla. Cohen. Powers John's Lane. Dude, great choices, man. I'm gonna be honest. This is really weird. I've never really thought about my favorite 12-year-old that's not cast strength release Kilkerran 12. I'm not sure I have either. I mean, my favorite 12-year-old whiskey, if we go just by HMO, is Springbank 12 cast strength, despite the variation. I think I put that up because Lagavulin 12 cast strength, although, maybe some of it's not as great as it used to be, whatever. Some of it's still really good. Yeah, man. Kilkerran 12, though. I'm hearing people on that. I hear people on Highland Park, and I really like Welsh Toro's comment with the Balvenie 12 single barrel, man. That's deep. I'm with you on that. No Anok 12s from anybody? Brockwood 12, man. I wish I've had it. I haven't. Glenallachie 12 from Peter White. Okay. Wow. Yeah. Man, dude. I wonder. I don't know what the shipping is in your area, but I see it for like 65, 70, in which case I would say buy a bunch. Johnny Walker Blacks is indie. Look at this guy. Luis up there. Definitely not. I don't know why everybody loved that whiskey so much. I found it kind of boring. Montreal's in the house. What up, Paul? How are you? Another one. Glen Turret. This guy. I was waiting to see that. I was waiting to see if somebody was going to drop the Glengarry. That was in my top 5 whiskeys of the year, I think. What was it, 2 or 3 years ago? Yeah. Glengarry, man. That's awesome. Glengarry, man. I agree. Paul with the Tamdu 12 and the Glengarry. Here they come. Here comes the Glengarry. I think Kilkerran has won the quote-unquote popular vote, but the Electoral College, no, we're not going to get into all that. Yeah, get it. That is good whiskey. Truth. Live at 12 illicit still. Okay. Loves the Glengarry 15. Good shit, man. I mean, there's definitely a tier 1, and it sounds to me like, look, man, Highland Park 12, Buna 12, Glengarry 12, Kilkerran 12. I mean, these are whiskeys that are in that top echelon. You know, maybe a Glendronach 12, you know, here or there. These are some good ones, man. Illicit still is a solid one. I'm with you on that. No love for the Mac 12 Sherry Cask. I don't know if it's better than the Buna, but it. I feel like that's a borderline tier 1 12-year-old. It is really good. I find that distillery generally to be kind of hit and miss, but that's a good one. Yeah. Here comes the Deanston 12 love. Yeah, three ships. I actually have a 6-year-old indie bottling of theirs that is just awesome. I've been trying to buy their 12 for a while. Paul's in here with the Deanston 12. I do too. I hate to say it because I don't got much love for Macallan, but the Macallan 12 Sherry Oak, not the double oak. The double oak one I think is Bullock's, but the Sherry Oak, I'd put that above. I find it on par with the Glendronach. I actually think I like it a little bit more. Sorry. It's probably the only Macallan you'll ever see me show that much love for. Yeah, dude, the price is just. I mean, that's one of the things, man. Like, it's such a affordable whiskey. It's not an introductory Scotch. I wouldn't say I recommend it to somebody just getting into it, just because it is characterful. But damn, man, it's good. So he said leg 12. I agree with the leg 12, but leg 12 is like $150. I think like the price range on that is a little, like, I'm trying to think like more in what a traditional 12-year-old would be. And I know that's a little tough. Wow. Yeah, how things change. Craigellachie 13, yeah. Character. I don't know if I put it over the Buna, but I'm with you. I like that one a lot. I agree. Well, that was fun. Okay, I'm gonna do another dram, and since we've been doing some peat, I'm gonna keep with the peat I am going to do a whiskey that came out here in 2021 that I like a lot, but it is not my whiskey of the year for Scotch. Laphroaig Kirchhoff PX. As much as this distillery disappoints me in many ways, it also is a transcendent core distillate in so many ways. And I think this is the best Kirchhoff they've put out since the 2018 Fino. It is not going to be my Scotch whiskey of the year, but if I was doing a top 10, it would be in it. No doubt about it. This is a very good release. So this is the PX. It is 58.9%. As much as Laphroaig and noisy, look at the color of that, by the way. Take care, man. Good to see you, Gary. Yeah. I'm with you on that. Oh! Look out. I don't disagree. That might be a bourbon that's better. That original 12. I actually have an unopened bottle of the old one from back in the day, which is cool. And let's not forget the 12 barrel proof, but again. Speaking of Bunnahabhains, though, I think when we were talking a little bit earlier in this show, I was talking about like somebody was talking about the Bunna 18, and I mentioned the Bunna 18 is probably one of my favorite Bunnahabhain 18-year-old whiskeys. It's a tier 1. So let's go 18s. 18-year-old scotches in that 18-year-old you know what? Price range doesn't matter. Standard core range, 18-year-old whiskeys. What's better than Bunna 18? That would be amazing, man. Steven, I'm going to drop my email in the chat. I would love to connect. Hit me up. 18-year-old whiskeys that you would put above Bunna 18. And while you do that, I'm going to bask in the glory that is Laphroaig Kirchhoff PX. I have a couple in mind. Oh, man, that's good. In fact, let me go take a quick. I'll be right back. And then we'll chat 18s. Because I did in 2019, I did an 18-year-old whiskey as the first review every month. I think Bunna 18 was the highest ranked one that I did. There might have been another one or two in there. I'm going to be really curious to hear what the community's got to say. I'll be right back. What's up, y'all? After standing up, man, I'm realizing I'm feeling good. I'm loose. Where are we at? Almost 2 hours? Fuck it. Let's go. Let's have some fucking drams. Boom. Laphroaig. I would love to hear a dissenting opinion about the Lefroy PX. Has anybody had this and didn't think it was the best one since the Fino? Anyways, 18-year-old whiskeys. There are two that come to mind for me that I would put above the Bunna as far as core range 18s. We're talking about core range. I'm going to be curious if anybody picks up on these. All right, here we go. I hope you grabbed that email. If you don't, I can send it to you again, Stephen. Thanks again, man. That sounds fun. And maybe I have something you would be interested in. I don't know. Maybe. Luis, first in the door. Aaron, 18. Zan says no, but agree. 18. Aaron, 18. Wow, 3 votes for Aaron, 18. Molasses coming in. Cohen. Yeah, man. Especially the ones from 2019 or before. Peter White says, I like Aaron 18 more than Bunna. Plus, it's $40 cheaper. Daniel. Glendronach 18. Bunna 18. Both fantastic for different reasons. Molasses, a Mac 18. Oh, no. Fuck that whiskey. Paul says he's not had it. That's okay. Maybe this will entice you to have it. It is. My hope is that they actually start bottling things with a little bit more integrity and they turn around their 10-year-old, which I think has really fallen off. But this year you had the 10 Sherry Oak, solid whiskey. The Carchis PX, probably, as I would argue, the best Carchis that they've done since the 2018 Fino. I think it's a really damn good. All right, where are we else? I'm about to get bashed for this one. I really like the grapefruit and honey notes on Glenmorangie 18. No, it's not better than Glenmorangie. I love Glenmorangie 18. Older Bunna 18s are much better than the new ones, says Stephen Connor. Glendronach 18, yeah. The older ones for sure. Only 18 I've had is Highland Park 18. I'm not gonna hate on Highland Park 18. Older Glendronach. So we got a Glendronach, Aaron, and Bunna are kind of fighting it out here with Highland Park close behind. Yeah, that's a good price. I'd probably do that. Highland Park 18 from Daniel H. There's Cohen. Picking one of mine. Yeah. It's discontinued, but come on, man. I mean, how do you not include the mighty Lefroy 18? Arguably their best whiskey outside. It would be the best whiskey if it was still around. No doubt. That's a good pick. Long row. Lecheg, man. Y'all just grab my two. The two that I had higher would be Lecheg 18 and Lefroy 18. Highland Park is close. Lecheg is probably my favorite 18. But yeah, there's another one that is close for me, which is the Anok 18, and I haven't seen that one pop up yet. Yeah, getting a little loose, no doubt. Shit. Pouring the PX, not had to reach this one, recent one. Yeah, that poured in wine cask from last year was okay. A little sickly sweet. Great. Okay. Disappear brings up a great point. The Glenlivet 18 that he mentions at 43%, that was a 4 out of 5 whiskey for me. The sad news is that while a lot of whiskey distilleries seem to be going in the direction of higher ABV or at least higher quality presentation, debatable. I know what I'm saying is debatable. Glenlivet is the opposite way. They've rebranded their 18, and the new one is 40% in the US, which is just a fucking tragedy. Absolute tragedy. Because I think the Glenlivet 18 I wouldn't put it above the Bunna, but it's a damn good one. Yeah, I'm with you on that. Triplewood was okay. Dude says I gifted while I have a Glenmoe 18. I have a Glenmorangie 19. Did you know that exists? It does. Talisker 18 is solid. I don't know if I'd put it above the Bunna, but good to see it out there. Yeah, what up, Belgium? Anok 18, man. That's a good point. You're right. I suppose Laphroaig 18 wouldn't totally count, even though it was core range at the time, but it's not part of the core range anymore. The lore is part of it. I think I would put Lecheg 18 over the Bunna. Anok 18 is right there. I would put Laphroaig 18 over it, but okay. Debatable. Good point. Michael's in with the Lecheg 18. Yep. Anok 18. Yeah. Definitely. Man. Anok 24 was my whiskey of the year last year. And the 18 is fucking fantastic. Fucking Cohen, man. Killing me, dude. Yeah. I think if you twisted my arm, I'd probably go Bunna over the Anok, but man, that's close. The Anok 18 is really good whiskey. Yes, it is. Dude, it's bad. I saved 2 samples of the 43%er because I really liked it that much. I thought it was really that good. Yeah, how they went to 40%. I mean, it's so tired. It's so insulting. Now, I assume the majority of people who are like big Scotch fans are not shopping for Glenlivet 18 anyways, but I will tell you, when I was coming up and going on my journey, that first bottle of Glenlivet 18, and I stand by it, the one at 43%, that was a damn good whiskey. Really nice balance, good mouthfeel, long finish, relaxed, enjoyable whiskey. But it is really disappointing to see them drop it to 40. And in fact, Telex did a spot review of it, and he was so pissed off. Understandably, it just... I don't know what they're thinking. Well, I do. They're thinking about money. Yeah. Balvenie Doublewood 17, yeah. Talisker 18, but oh man, it'd be great at higher strength. Yeah, I'm with you on that, Welsh. Longer 18 is the one, but the price is staggering and hard to come. It is, and yeah, it is a little bit hard to come by. I noticed, speaking of price being high and hard to come by, I've noticed nobody's mentioned Springbank 18. Yeah, man. It's great. There's something about... So the thing about this Laphroaig PX, I've been a little suspect about Laphroaig's heavy use of quarter casks as one of the maturations in some of their whiskey. What I think they're trying to do is make it come off as more robust because they've been using less quality casks. I think it's supposed to add some depth and flavor. So I've been a little bit like annoyed with that. But I will say, in this PX, it works perfectly. It's a damn good whiskey. PX and Laphroaig just work, man. Cuscio 18, yeah, I can't speak to that one, unfortunately. Agreed. Yes, Aaron 18 has been heavily mentioned. Yes, definitely. So I'm right there with you on that. James Morgan. Where we at? Totally. Totally. Yeah. Oh, it's not bad. It's not bad, but it ain't Boona 18. I Glen Grant 18 is like low tier 2 for me. Yeah. Yeah, it is. And honestly though, but like there's a lot of distilleries that are moving in the right direction. Glenmorangie has slowly started releasing things in this barrel reserve releases that are like moving in the right direction for them. You have distilleries like Glenallachie and Aaron and Glencadam, who has always been doing 46% non-chill filtered natural color. I mean, there are Kilchoman. There are distilleries that are consistently pushing the more craft approach. And then you do have some distilleries like, unfortunately, like Glenlivet. I guess I'd have to throw Highland Park in this to some degree, although they are always natural color. They still chill filtered, a lot of NAS expressions. You know, the market will, I guess, dictate these things at the end of the day, but you would like to see, especially some of these distilleries that, for folks who've been in this longer than me, I'm looking at like Stephen Connor, for example, Welsh Toro, some of the other folks who've had some of the releases of Ardbeg, Highland Park, stuff from before I was in Scotch, who remember like just how quality it is. And the fact that I'm noticing the quality difference in just, 6 or 7 years. I mean, for folks who had this stuff a little bit, earlier than that, even, it's got to be even more striking. What can you do? Let's see what else we got in here. Yeah, definitely. Glenallachie 18. Yeah, I've not had that one yet. Altmore 18. What up, New York City? Jack the Pickletown's in the house. What's up, man? Yeah, that's good. Kilkerran will do an 18. Yeah, their 16 I didn't think was all that amazing comparatively. I actually did a review video that it was like a half step up, but not. It didn't blow my mind. Oh, fuck, a good price? $220? $200? Man, I see that stuff well over $200 a lot. They also, Springbank is very batch driven, so you're going to find some batches better than others. It's just one of those distilleries, man. They're hit and miss, and that's always, from what I understand, the 18 has been kind of the black sheep of their core range. I think I've tried one ever, and I didn't think it was any more. I think it was any better than the 12 cask strength. In fact, I think the 12 cask strength was better. What else we got going on? Oh, well, that's that's about what you're going to pay for those these days. I don't know. I think the 15 is great. Now, I got lucky. I got a bunch of old releases of it, like the old black box releases. I got 3 bottles of it at 94 before the price went up. I know now it's like 150, which I think is too much, but it's still a damn good whiskey. Telex's favorite is the Akintoshan. Fuck Akintoshan. Akintoshan is the Dalmore of Lowlands. There's no doubt. Unless you get like single cask independent bottlings of it, they're just, oh my god. I'm not going to go off on it. Their 21 sucked. I remember having their 21. It sucked. It's too bad because I think at their roots, there's some good stuff there, but they color and filter that whiskey so much. And when you chill filter a lowland whiskey like that to death, the way Auchentoshan does, I mean, I would drink a Glenlivet 12 over an Auchentoshan 18. Or I'm sorry, Glenfiddich 12. They're just, look, man, they have a runway. They're always on it, and they sell enough of their whiskey. If you're going to buy Auchentoshan, look independent. Their American Oak was honestly one of the worst whiskeys I've had for a single malt. I bought it when I was out in California around this time last year. It was like $25. And I was like, oh, I got to try this. It was so bland and so light and so boring and so flavorless and so just neutered. As somebody who has not had a lot of lowland whiskeys, it turned me off of the style. And now look, I think the region stuff is in part marketing. I think it adds a level of mystique to Scotch and stuff. I'm not necessarily sure, especially when you think about Speyside and Highland, come on, man. They call it these things for marketing reasons, in my opinion. That said, the lowland whiskeys, which are traditionally more of the triple distilled, when I first had Bladnoch 10, I realized how good lowland whiskey could be, because it has just been a region I didn't pay much attention to other than Auchentoshan. And I was so disappointed in Auchentoshan. I've had the 12. I've had the 18. I've had the 21. I have had the American Oak. And they're all just so fucking boring. It's honestly just sad. How can you have any self-respect? I wish that was a real thing. I wish people, I wish they would wake up one day and be like, yeah, maybe we shouldn't put a gallon of colorant in this, but my God. Their whiskey is just stripped of any character. I would rather drink Jura than Auchentoshan. And I don't like Jura, but at least Jura has character. At least I can say, you know what? I don't like this because it has character. The reason I don't like Auchentoshan is because it's stripped down to its absolute, it's just stripped down from anything that would resemble character. So. Leo, I would send you a shot right now. I'd buy you a shot at the bar if I was with you. You nailed it. Yeah. No, Springbank 15 is solid. And that's the more predominantly sherried one, which is good. Teeling 18. I didn't even know. I went to Teeling when I was over in Ireland 2 years ago. I did not know they had an 18 though. I've not had it. I've had the Bowmore 12 and the 15, and I'll be honest, I never wanted to go back. I never went back to Bowmore after that. That said, and maybe I'll do this one next week. I've had this sitting around for a while. This is the Bowmore 18, but it's not just the Bowmore 18. This is the Vintners Trilogy Manzanilla Cask Double Matured, 52.5%. So this is the only bottle of Bowmore that I own other than a 15-year-old boutique whiskey company, Indie Bottling, which is good. Maybe I'll do this one next week. This could be a fun whiskey. Let's see what it has to say. Yeah, Manzanilla Cask. Long-lasting. It's like a condom, right? Long-lasting smoky bursts. Smoky burst of Seville orange through meticulous double maturation of Manzanilla Cask. Wow, Bowmore. I'm assuming it is chill filtered and fake coloring because it's Bowmore. But I don't know. Imported by Beam Suntory, Chicago, Illinois, my hometown. So here's what it has to say. Bowmore Vintners Trilogy, a grape-inspired series imbuing the signature Bowmore flavor with attributes of the finest ex-wine, port, and sherry cask. And meticulously double matured first for 13 years in ex-bourbon barrel, then 5 more in Manzanilla sherry. Mm-hmm. There you go. Maybe we'll do this one next week. Bowmore, yeah. I don't think I've actually posted a review of any Bowmore on my channel, and it's mostly just because I remember trying the Bowmore 12 and the 15 and not being impressed at all. We have passed the 2 hour mark, by the way, and we got 19 folks in, which is great. That's good to know. I'd say grab the 2021 Springer 10. Man, I still see that at $100 around here, though, man. I don't know if I can swing that. I remember when it was like 69. I hope that price comes down. Bought a Lowland recently, Glenkinchie 12. I've not had the Glenkinchie 12. Tobermory 18. I have not had the New Ball Blair 18. I'd love to try it. In particular because, I mean, as you can see, I do have a good selection of the old vintage release Ball Blairs, but not any of the new ones. He goes, I've had the 57.1 and struggle for me to get to stay out of it. Yeah. The Springbank 12 cast make this so good. I see it. Gentleman Jack, yo. Yes, this is what I mean, man. There are some really good indie bottlings. Glenn wrote this. Yeah, I'm not going to disagree with you there. The Rams win? Oh, good to know. Oh, that's good to know. Yeah, maybe I'll do this one next week. That's good to know. Cheers. M.L. Muser and I were talking yesterday. He made a statement that anyone that bottles Kalila besides Kalia does a better job. Yeah. That's true. We did say that. Yeah, Kalila is so much better when somebody else is bottling it other than Kalila. You have that Bowmore too. One of the 2 I have. Oh, there's the Devil's Cask. Okay. Bowmore can do good stuff, but they pissed me off with their 25 fucking terrain pour. Wow, that's depressing. Damn. That's sad. In fact, their core lineup sucks. Yeah, that's what I've heard, man. They're like Kalila. I'm not gonna say all of Kalila's core lineup sucks. I think their 25 is good. I think their 18 is okay. That 15 unpeated is here and there, but their 12. I'm sorry, man. For the price that the 12-year-old Kalila is in the US right now, which is like $80, fuck that whiskey. It is not that good. There's 5 better entry-level Isla peated whiskeys that are better than Kalila 12. Now, if you want to get a Berry Brothers and Run cask strength Kalila 12 or an Alexander Murray or a fucking Cadenheads, yeah. But their standard 43% Kalila 12. Send it home. Waste your money. Color me shocked, man. It depresses me because I've had, we were talking earlier about when you go on your journey and you have malt moments, you have these moments with certain whiskeys. Ball Blair was one of those before they went to this, new age statement generic stuff. And yeah, man, I've always just been like, God, like but I'm not who, they're trying to sell whiskey, right? They're trying to sell whiskey to the masses. They want to look like something people would buy. But those old fluorescent boxed ones, those were where it was at. It's sad to hear that. I've not had any of them. I can't speak, personally on it, but knowing you, I'm not surprised to hear that. They're just another generic fucking whiskey at this point. Swami told me a couple years back, the first release of that's really good. I just can't throw 100 on it, man. It's Bowmore. Bowmore is like the Macallan of Islay. They just want to. They have a million different bottlings, and 90% of them aren't all that good, and their prices don't matter. Aren't worth it. So I don't know. Yeah, I'm looking forward to that. Went to the whiskey festival last year, and the Kalila 12 was the best thing I had there. Tells you something about the festival. You're talking about the Fecile 2021. I have that one, the Muscatel. I also have a couple Feciles, Kalila, 2013, 2016, and 2020. The 2020. I wonder if this is what you're talking about. This is the Amoroso 16-year-old. I don't know if that's what you're talking about, but the Muscatel I know is the 2021, I think. Yeah, that's way too much, man. That's way too much. Way too much. All right, I got to get another pour. I do have that one. I mean, the one that I have a backup of this. This is the Ball. This is the one that really got me. This is the Ball Blair 1990 second release. It's the 25-year-old. That one, I remember when I first got into Scotch, those were going for 150 a piece. I got two of them. Yep, he's completely right. Put a big highlighter across what Welsh Toro just said here. That's absolutely 100% right. That is exactly the point. If you are going to buy Kalula for the same price and sometimes cheaper than you will find the distillery releases, you can get Berry Brothers and Rudd is a classic example of this. Cadenheads also, Kalila's. There are so many indie bottlings of Kalila, Gordon MacPhail, that are going to be light years better than the distillery releases. It's just what they are. And I think it's primarily because Kalila, for the most part, is a blending, has been used for blends. It is what it is. I like their stuff, but the regular Kalila 12 is bullocks compared to some of these. I would rather drink one of these 8-9-year-old indie bottlings than their 12, no doubt. Okay, I got to figure out another pour here because apparently we're going to keep going. Maybe I stick with the Freud. I mean, I went heavily peated, so I can go back. Okay, let's do a Freud. So we're going to stick with the Freud. We're going to stick with another release from this year. This is the Lafroig 10 Cask Strength, batch 13, 57.9%. Tag it and bag it, man. This shit is, it's as good as shipped. Fuck around and find out. Cool. There it is. Lafroig 10 Cask Strength. Consistently, this one's even more bourbon cask forward, a little bit less in the complexity, but still damn good. There's nothing else that Lefroy does better than this right now that's accessible in their core range. Can you buy Scotch that's specifically matured in one cask that has only had, say, Fino? You can buy things that are only in one cask, no doubt. Primarily, Scotch is going to be ex-bourbon or ex-sherry or a mix of both. But you can definitely get things that are only in one cask. Fino exclusive whiskeys, though that's going to be a little tougher. You don't find as many like complete Fino matured, but generally speaking, yes. Now you're going to find varying degrees of forthcomingness from distilleries. Some distilleries, like Kilchoman, like to some degree Compass Box, will tell you explicitly what all of their stuff is matured at. A lot of them, though, they're vague. They'll just say hogsheads or, oh, yeah, it's this and that. You don't know the ratio. You don't know anything. Internet, whiskey.com, Lunig, Horse Lunig's website's good for that to get a little bit more detail. Yes, you can. But for the most part, don't expect to have a lot of transparency. Because in the United States, at least, they don't need to be very transparent. So they're not. No. Aaron Rodgers is MVP. There's no doubt about it. I love to get into football, Cohen. You know it. Yes. So there are a lot of whiskeys that'll only be Oloroso. Oloroso is the most common sherry you're going to find. What I would say is look at things like Aberlour Abuna. Really any Aberlour. Although I wouldn't recommend most Aberlour. Abuna is the way to go. Glendronach. Glenfarclas, although hit or miss. Depending on where you are in your journey, might be worth grabbing a Glenfarclas. Yeah, there are a few that are going to be fully just sherry. A good, cheap sherry, if you want to taste what it's like, look for a whiskey called Naked Grouse. It's a blended malt from Famous Grouse, but it's all first fill sherry. And it'll give you a sense of like what a fully sherried whiskey is, and it won't break your bank. It's like $30. You can pretty much find it anywhere. Look for Naked Grouse, and then from there, you have a lot of options. But again, a lot of these whiskey distilleries are not very transparent about what their stuff is matured in, so you end up having to do some secondary research. But if you're looking to just dip your toe in the water, look for a bottle of Naked Grouse. $30. First fill sherry, it's good. It is legit good. It's a legit good whiskey. And it'll give you a sense of like what a full sherry maturation tastes like. Please. You just finished the batch 13 way too fast. Yeah, I'm on it right now. It's great. Fino is hard. I don't think you're going to find a full Fino matured whiskey. And if you do, it's going to be really pricey. Oloroso, yes. Again, Naked Grouse. Start with that. Glendronach, you can look at things that like Glendronach 12, which is going to be Oloroso and PX. But again, it's full sherry. It's just two different types of sherry. Glenfarclas, Dalmore. Avoid Dalmore. So yeah, there's options. Hey, cheers. Top Shelf D's in the house. What up, man? How are you, sir? There is a Kilchoman 100% Fino, yeah. Bought a family cask today. I'm going to finally hopefully figure out family casks suck. Yeah, let us know. I've avoided, man. How are you doing, Dustin, man? Merry Christmas, Happy Holidays, Happy New Year, all that stuff. I'm only a year into my Scotch journey and what I'm going to find in an age stream. You're going to find more subtlety, more refinement. It's going to force you to fully appreciate. Maybe, it's going to force you to sip it a little slower. You're going to detect more. I think general, and this is a very much general statement. The older it gets, the subtler it gets. It doesn't take water as well, so be careful with water. I'm not saying don't use water. Always use water, but test it out. So it's going to be a little bit more delicate. It's going to be a little bit more complex. A lot to learn. It'll be fun. You'll enjoy it. For sure, man. For sure. No, they won't. No, they won't. Packers have a top 5 defense, and we're getting Jair Alexander back. Oh, man. There's no NFL team that would feel happy to play Green Bay right now. That's all I'm going to say. I've avoided it because I saw it at Binny's for $160, and I was like, fuck that. So I'm glad to hear it. Of course I was tempted because, come on, Malbec? That's a bummer. Old Paltney just looked up today. 21. Well, the 21 is a discontinued whiskey. They do have an 18 now. I wouldn't recommend it. If you're going to get an Old Paltney and you want to buy something past the 12, get the 15. Their 15 is really good. That I believe. Yeah. Continuing that trend, man. Absolutely. Dude, the indie bottling Kalilas are freaking fantastic. All right, folks doing a little chat back and forth. They do make a Fino Cask whiskey. That's right. Folks talking about whiskey swaps. Always awesome. I agree. No, look, I agree. But, dude, what defense in the NFC do you think is better than Green Bay? Minnesota? No fucking way. You realize the Packers play the Browns, who are defeated. They just lost a heartbreaker. Minnesota at Lambeau, where the Packers aren't defeated, and then the Lions at Lambeau. Their first seed, for sure. And Jair Alexander will be back. Maybe Zadarius Smith. Who knows? They're a Super Bowl caliber team anywhere you put it. And again, as long as Aaron Rodgers is upright, there's no... I mean, come on. There's no way the Rams are going to beat them. Dallas? Their offense doesn't have enough firepower. Maybe. Brady in Tampa, I would never count out Tom Brady, but injury bug has hit them pretty hard. I don't know, man. Green Bay's defense is exponentially better than it was last year when we lost to Tampa. And it's only going to get stronger as we go through the rest of the year where we're literally playing a bunch of freaking nobodies. They've had some problems on the deep ball, no doubt. But again, man, Jair Alexander, Pro Bowls. I mean, we have one of more corners than we know what to do with. I feel confident in them. I think this is going to be a fun playoffs. Arizona just lost to Detroit, so I mean, I don't know. What can you say? Yeah, do it. Old Palmy 15 is really good. Good price from that $80, $90 point, which is kind of standard for 15s, maybe a tick lower. It's bottled at 43%. It's a good whiskey. They're 18, however, real disappointment. Appreciate that, Icy. Cheers. I hope so. I do hate Dallas. I lived through the 90s, man. When Dallas just beat the Packers all the time. Always hate Dallas. But I think if you're looking at it objectively, man, I mean, Aaron Rodgers is clearly the MVP of the league this year. He's doing this with a offensive line that has one starter for the majority of the season. And yeah, his vac stuff is stupid. I mean, the guy's a fucking meathead idiot for that. But if we knew half of what the personal lives and thoughts are of NFL players, he'd look like a saint comparatively. All right, y'all. We are at that, 2.5 hour point. So just to recap, Bunna 12 cast strength. Good stuff. Really good stuff. 4.25 stuff. It is a half step above the Bunna 12 for sure. It is not like Laphroaig 10 cast strength to Laphroaig 10 in terms of its jump from good to great, but it is good. I'm going to enjoy this. I will pop a review of this up probably in January. Outside that, look for the review. Paul John Christmas edition review will drop on Friday. Patreons, expect it in your inbox some point in time tomorrow. And if I don't talk to any of y'all before then, man, I do wish those celebrating a very Merry Christmas coming up this weekend. If y'all have done your holiday stuff already or are not celebrating, I will raise a glass to you. 'Tis the season. Hope you guys are all staying safe, being well. Avoid this new freaking annoying COVID bullshit. Keep it tight. Keep it right, man. Thank you. I'm seeing happy holidays, Merry Christmases to all of you, and back at you guys all. Seriously, from the bottom of my heart, I hope you get to spend some good time with people that you love, and I hope that you travel safely and are able to make it back. I will be doing another live stream next week. We'll do a little year recap. I might do a indie bottling Ben Nevis. I don't know what it's going to be yet. We'll figure it out. Paul Johns will drop Friday. Much love to everybody, man. You guys take good care. Be well. Appreciate all the support this year.